It's a positive film. It has heroes and villains, and that it essentially is a fun movie to watch. It's been a long time since people have been able to go to the movies and see a sort of straightforward, wholesome, fun adventure.
Well, it's a fantasy. It's not science fiction so much as it is space fantasy. And it's about people. It's finally about people and not finally about science.
The story, when you actually put it into words, is only so much nonsense to hang a great visual experience onto. It's the stuff that fairy tales are made of.
It's sort of boiling down religion into a very basic concept. The fact that there is some deity or some power or some force that sort of controls our destiny works for good and also works for evil.
Marvellous, healthy innocence. Great pace, wonderful to look at, full of guts, nothing unpleasant. I mean, people go bang bang and people fall over and are dead, but, no horrors. A sort of wonderful freshness about it, kind of like a wonderful fresh air.
It's got whatever you want it to be. It's pure entertainment. It's like a roller coaster ride, and it can be interpreted as long as you enjoy it, which is the intention.
Hello, welcome back to Generation Skywalker. We're here to, last month we released a show celebrating the previous Farthest Froms and the previous 21 shows. Tonight we're here to take a trip down memory lane from December, where all of us attended Farthest From 22, and what an event it was. And joining me to take us through this, we've got Dan Burgess. Good evening, Dan.
Hello there.
I've got Craig Spivey. Good evening, Craig.
Hello.
And I've got Mark Daniels. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening.
So, boys, Farthest From back after a 2-year hiatus. I think Dave nailed it. I think the show was brilliant. I think I thought it went really, really smoothly. Would you all agree on that?
100%. It was good to be back after a sort of, like you say, 2-year break.
I mean, obviously, vintage prices on the Sunday were up like we've seen in the past. Did anyone buy anything? Anyone treat themselves to anything on that shop floor?
I did, yeah. I bought a couple of bits off Gary Smith. I bought a 45B Palatoy Empire Snaggletooth and Snaggletooth card, which is quite hard to find. So I was very happy to get that. A couple of pencils, HC Ford pencils, and a couple of other knickknacks, and then picked a couple of bits up from my old mate Tom Scaife, who turns up the most incredible stuff. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, he bought a couple of bits down for me to collect.
Very nice pickups. I'd love to be someone who doesn't follow Star Wars collecting and just hear you, oh yeah, I bought a couple of pencils. I mean, it must look really strange from the outset, mustn't it?
I get it all the time, mate, honestly.
Craig, I know you definitely bought something because I sourced it for you on the Saturday.
Exactly. You know full well what I bought, Stuart, because you clocked it on the Saturday, snapped it on your phone and sent me it. And what it was a set of 7 Hungarian Han Solo books. So just explain very briefly what these are. In 1979, Brian Daley released 3 novels: Han Solo's Revenge, Han Solo at Star's End, and Han Solo and the Lost Legacy. These obviously proved so popular in Hungary that they took it on themselves to write 4 sequels to those Han Solo novels. And these were Han Solo Nomad, Han Solo Imperial Agent, Han Solo and the Bounty Hunter, and Han Solo's War. So these were unlicensed, unofficial novels, continuations of those stories. And you spotted for sale a set of all 7. These things have got amazing, kind of crazy cover art from that dying age of airbrushed sci-fi covers in the early 90s. So not a strict pre-1985 vintage item, but getting close, and a wonderful thing to add to my quirky book collection.
Very nice indeed. They were very you when I saw them.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, I picked up a display, a shop display of microtins. So I think it's got the top layer missing, but other than I think there's something like 36 of the tins that are in there. So a very nice mix of Yodas and AT-ATs and Boba Fett's and Landos and Han Hoffs. So yeah, I've got a nice display of those now on my shelf. Picked up a couple of candy heads as well, and I think I've got a Princess Leia badge and an autograph from Guy Henry.
Okay, we'll get on to him in a minute, and I know that both you and Emma, I don't want to lower the tone of the podcast, but he is your ideal threesome member, isn't he? You two are going down that route. I've never seen two people so starstruck in my life.
Really?
I mean, Emma's like, oh, she's in Holby, and you were like, oh, he's in Rogue One, and it was just like the two of you were just like, it's like, come on, people, Burgesses, what's going on here? But it was nice, Dan. It was nice, and I love that Empire display. I do have it myself. It's a nice box.
Yeah, pleased with that. What did you get?
Do you know what? That's a really good question. I bought I've got a memory blank. What's the transfers from the Jedi period? Not Letraset, the other one.
Presto Magic things.
Presto Magic. I bought the big unused Return the Jedi one, which was graded, which I thought would fit perfectly at the back of one of my those white display things I've got. But no, it's way too big for that. So that blew that one out the window.
Graded, Stu.
I was going to say that.
It's graded, yeah.
Grading Letraset panoramas.
Yeah, it's Presto Magic, but yeah. Basically, I see. Obviously, there'll be a photo of it in the enhanced crate. So go and have a look over there, mate. Joe, what I've been after that Princess Leia image kissing C-3PO, kind of like looking like she's topless with bits going on in the background. I've always wondered what magazine it was from. And Joe, I was just standing there, just chatting to Marc Hockley, and I just picked something up off his table, opened this magazine up, and it's the first page in there. I was like, ideal. I think I paid £10 for that, and then I basically bought a load of loose figures. Yeah, bought quite a few loose figures ready for my display once it goes up. But I think there was something else, but I can't think for the life of me what. I'm sure it'll come to me one day. Now, obviously, Dan, you've just mentioned Guy Henry. Myself, Grant, and Jez attended, well, on the Saturdays, not just Farthest From. Dave does a family fun day on the Saturday where you've got carnival stalls. So there's like, rather than a coconut shy, you've got to knock planets off. Got the banthas round the Sarlacc pit. So he's converted some of those. I think they're called Yugo hamsters, but he's made them look like banthas. And you put your money on one, and it's the last one to drop into the Sarlacc pit. Or I think you've got to survive a time period. There's a Nerf gun, you know, like you used to shoot the tin cans. He's got Nerf guns going on. So you've got all that going on. And then there was a few modern stalls, and then there was a few stars of the film or behind the film, which I'll get onto in a minute. But so we attended that. Me, Grant, and Jez set up our display and had some good discussions that day. So Dan, you rocked up in the afternoon. I think Mark, you rocked up in the afternoon as well, actually. So I think we saw both of you on the day.
I came down with Lee Bullock. Me and Lee try and make it down to Farthest From together as many times as we can. And on the trip down, we always have the Rogue One soundtrack on the car from start to finish, from the minute we leave till the second we get down there. It's on constant loop. It's just like a little what do you call it, like a little tradition that we both have.
Don't worry about the other soundtracks, just go with Rogue One. Why Rogue One?
It was just the first time we came down, we travelled down together, I just had it in the car, and we did, you know, when you're talking all the time and you realise that you've listened to the soundtrack on a loop all the way down.
Yeah.
And it's just stuck. It's just one of those things that's stuck.
Well, you rocked up. I mean, like the Saturday, I mean, all the carnival events, I think they're organised by Fanfare Tracks. Dave always has a charity on the go, Salvation Army this year, and I think that's what's the thing. But it was great to see all the little kids come in. We gave away a few freebies to the children, and yeah, I thought it was a constant flow all day. But there were some guests there who we had some interaction with. I mean, we spent quite a long time talking to Brian Herring, who's obviously behind BB-8, a fascinating guy, lovely bloke. Guy Henry was there, like Dan said. Dan, now you and Emma are a bit in love with Guy. Would that be fair?
I think Emma is. I just wanted a photo of him just talking. Autograph. So yeah, she's a big Holby City fan. She's probably watching it now. In fact, when we're recording, I think it's on now. So yeah, she was. When I told her that he was going to be there, I think it was a bit more of a carrot for her to come actually. So yeah, she was a bit shy. So I called her over, and yeah, we had a little chat to him and got an autograph. Holby City's actually finishing in March. They're cancelling it. So he was a bit nonchalant about it. She was a bit disappointed. I think she was hoping he was going to get a bit emotional about it, but he was kind of like, yeah, things happen.
Well, that's it. A former guest that's been there before played Snoke on Last Jedi, Ross Sandbridge. He was just rocking around. I think he had signed a couple of shows ago and enjoyed it so much he'd returned. He tried to sell me a Snoke Black Series figure out the back of his car. I was like, I don't want it. He went, well, what about a TVC one? I was like, I don't want it. He was brilliant. But he hung around most of the day with us. And obviously then Mark Newbold of Fan for Tracks then interviewed them. First of all, we had Guy Henry, and then Neil Scanlon dropped in, who from the Creature department. He wasn't signing, but fascinating people to listen to. And I'm aware that if you want to listen to any of those interviews, he head over to Fan for Tracks. I think they're all on Making Tracks, their podcast over there. But Mark did a great job of interviewing them. So that was kind of that day, you know. We packed up, we came away, and Dave put on a meal in the hall. I think he had quite a good turnout. I think there was 30 to 40 people in there, where they had Gus Lopez in the evening and Brian Herring. They both did talks on the evening in there. But we headed over to Ringwood for a curry and a few beers. It was good to catch up with everyone. What was there, Dan? A dozen people?
Yeah, I think we booked it for a dozen. Yeah, there was a good crowd of us, and yeah, we headed it. I forget the names of all the pubs down there, though, but we started off in one pub, had a few pints in there, and moved across to the Indian, and yeah, carried on. And I think, what was the name of that pub we ended up in? I
have no idea, mate, but they had 80s music playing. We had a good old sing song, didn't we, Dan?
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. It was good to catch up with her. I mean, that's generally my favourite bit of the weekend. Is the catching up with everyone. So yeah, we had a good time. It's been a long time since we've been able to do that.
Yeah, it was a nice evening. And Mark, you had Lee with you. He tackled his foul again. I mean, he didn't look like he was enjoying it. He looked quite emotional about it, to be fair. We know he can eat a foul. Sometimes I just think, Lee, just knock down 2 curries a bit and just enjoy it.
I have seen him shovel 2 naan breads, a pilau rice, and a fall down, and he's a machine.
I can remember being at an Echo. I think it was the first Echo we went for a curry, and I was sitting next to him, and I dipped my naan bread in his fowl, and I was just like, bloody, because I quite like spice, but I can remember eating this bit of naan bread and thinking, my God, how can he be enjoying that? That's not.
It's like eating fire. It's like molten lava. It's vile. I mean, I'm like used to. I like a hot curry. I like a madras. That's about as far as I'll go though.
Yeah, just different level. Bless him. He's obviously got no taste buds remaining. But I bet your car was lovely on the way back. Wasn't so much the Rogue One soundtrack; it was more Rogue Bum. We're here to talk about Farthest From, the vintage show on the Sunday, vintage wall to wall, and I think we all probably had little bits of is it going to be huge because of COVID? I mean, Omicron was now in place. It was starting to move. So there was doubts of how busy it was going to be, but we didn't need to worry about that. Now, first of all, before we get into anything, our setup, okay, we did set it up on the Saturday, but what was our setup, Mark, on the Sunday? I mean,
well, when we decided we were going to go down to Farthest From, and we made this decision as a podcast that we were going to attend things like Farthest From and Echo Live and as many of live events as we could possibly do, and we needed a presence rather than just set a table and some leaflets out. We wanted to make sure that we stood out, because there's a lot of podcasts out there, there's a lot of people vying for your attention. So we decided to create a backdrop with the Generation Skywalker logo on there, nice and large, and our contact details, and a plinth that all sort of collapses down into a nice orderly fashion into a trolley that we can wheel around to events. Proper professional job. We all chipped in for the amount that it was, and I have to say that when I walked into the hall on the Saturday afternoon, it looked fantastic. It was the first time I'd seen it. You guys had set it up with the help of Dave Tree, because he'd put these things up several times before. And I think you had to ask him because you didn't quite know how to put it together, which is understandable if you've never done one before. But when it walked in, it just looked $1 million. Really, really happy with it, and can't wait to get it set up again for Echo Live in April.
Dave gave us a prime spot, didn't he, on the Sunday? I mean, you walked in the hall and it was down the other end, directly in front of you.
It was the first thing you saw as you walked in the hall, right down centre. Your eye was drawn to it straight away, and the strap line at the top. We are Generation Skywalker. You could not miss it. And of course, we were giving away stickers and badges that we'd had printed to anybody that we could force them on, and it's hopefully something we're going to develop over time. At the different events, we're going to be giving different bits of swag and freebies away. So watch your space.
Now we have to give Craig a shout out as well, don't we? Here, because we had he'd invested in a kind of like a tripod type thing to hold his iPad, and Craig, bless him, had sat and put together a 6.5 hour video of all of our best bits. I mean, the time and stuff that must have taken place. It was brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I walked away with the action from our meeting was to, how do we show to people what we do? And obviously, a lot of people know us for the audio podcast, which is great. You can't go around trying to put headphones on people going, listen to us, this is what we're about. So the enhanced shows that we do is a really good way of just, if you're walking past, you can sort of see some of the things we talk about. So yeah, I was very keen that I know what it's like when you man these stands and, the people around you, if something's on a loop several times in a day, it gets quite monotonous. So I set myself the challenge of making it a unique 6 hours. So there's some chunks of enhanced shows in there. There's some unboxings, there's bits and pieces, so that if people walk past, they could just glimpse at and get a snapshot of the things we do.
And I think pulling all that together, it was a great stand. Like we said, it was the first time out. We're going to add bits every time. It will grow and it will become bigger and better. And hopefully Dave will allow us to set up at every show, because it was great, wasn't it? We spoke to lots of people. I know I arranged interviews and for the future, and it was just a good base and definitely a great chance to sell ourselves and what we do.
And we filmed it. We filmed what went on in the day, and I think sometimes it's of more value to get something short and vibey and timely out rather than bringing in a professional film crew and filming a documentary. So we put together a little 2-minute sort of best of, really, and we had that out probably the next day, was it?
Yeah, I think it came out on the Monday. I think you've done well with that, and obviously that's over on our YouTube if people want to check that out. Now, I have to take my hat off to Jez for the Sunday as well. He was on interview duty. I looked through this list of interviews. I think all bar maybe one, which I think Marc did. I'm going to say he did all of the rest of them. So he was properly on it. So over the course of this show, we're going to have these interviews and what was going on. So a little montage to start with. So most of these are short ones. Chris Mann, great to see him again. Last time he was at Farthest From when he sold his collection several years ago to fund things in his life. We've got him outside in the queue. Andrew Karnecki, who works with Dave Tree, talking about the queue and whatnot. Rob Marsh early on, what he's finding, and Andrew Norton off of TVR. So let's go over to those interviews.
Chris Mann, as I live and breathe. We were only talking about you the other day, and here you are coming to Farthest From, and the first time in goodness knows how long I've stopped you before you've even gone in the shop. How's it going, mate? How you doing?
All good, all good. Yeah, I think it's been 5 or 6 years since I've been down here. Great to be back. Just sort of slotted straight back in with Jez, Grant, Richard, talking outside, back with the second family, so to speak. I think last time I was here I was selling my mock collection, so that bought a car with that, so that was 2015. So yeah, it's got to be 6 years, so it's been a while.
It's good to see you. So what's brought you back? Why are you back today?
I think just with everything that's been going on, I don't want to mention the word because we've all had enough of it, but I've missed coming down here. I lost touch a little bit with Star Wars when I lost the collecting bug, so to speak, and sold up all my collection, and just life got in the way, so didn't make it down here. And then obviously with what's been going on and how mad the world's been, this date was announced and it was straight on the calendar. Spoke to Laura, my wife, and said I'm out on the 12th of December.
Right.
Oh, where are you going? Farthest From. Oh, you haven't been to one of them for ages. Oh, good. Yeah, go and have a good day. So, and just wanted to get back down here and see everyone, so.
Cool, excellent. Well, I know you're going to go in there. Just briefly, what did you listen to on the way down here?
The Farthest From celebration episode, just to get back in the feel of it, and reminiscing about the first one we did, staying at your house, and the mocks that were on display at your house for sale, and yeah, just getting the memories back in lead up to bumping into everyone again. So,
all right, mate. Sorry about all the noise.
Typical.
So, get yourself inside, have a good time, and let me know later on if you re-get the bug, or maybe we'll just talk about prices.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, dude. Speak soon. Cheers.
Cool. Have a great day.
So, if you come to Farthest From, you will be walking past this man all the time. It's Andrew Karnecki, who's here again on the front door. Oh, in fact, I've just got paused myself as he's busy again. Hang on a second. Right, yeah, we briefly had to pause ourselves because it is busy. Andrew's here on the gate, taking all the money off the admission. squaring everything away. Andy, how's it going, buddy?
It's going really well. I say we've got a really busy crowd at the moment. I say everyone got in really quickly today, so that's been great. The pre-ordered tickets have made it a very smooth process, so people have got in as quick as they can so they can buy their products or go and speak to the guests all they want to.
Yeah, brilliant. How many people do you think you had queuing outside? The queue looked quite long.
It must be about 40 to 50 people queued up.
Brilliant.
At least, and then not all of those were pre-orders as well, so that's an extra load coming in as well.
And I saw you out there putting on wristbands and just getting everything sorted, all squared away. Just seemed like a well-oiled machine.
It certainly is. So we've come a long way since the last event, so we are always trying to move forward to make sure that we get a smooth operation.
Outstanding. And this year's one is for the Salvation Army. Any profits coming from this?
I say we are collecting for the Salvation Army, so there's some collection tins at the kitchen and within the event as well. Obviously we haven't counted up anything yet, but I'm sure Dave will sort of count something up from there and post up later on.
Yeah. And how about last night?
Last night was good fun. I say we had the Christmas meal. I say there was at least 40 people there at the Christmas meal.
Yeah.
Lots of guest talkers. So we had Brian Herring, who was talking about all his work with, like, say, BB-8, the Paws and stuff like that. And we had Gus talking about his mega collection, and then we had Paul Gullett a bit later on doing a nice Q&A and questions, and I believe he did some fun questions as well, so brilliant. It's all been good fun.
Outstanding. No, it certainly seems that way. The vibe is really, really good. Everyone seems just happy to be here, happy to be back in Fordingbridge.
Definitely.
Andrew, thank you so much for your time. Cheers.
You're very welcome.
Have a good day. Rob Marsh, I've just stopped you outside. How's it going?
All right, mate. Yeah, it's going good.
Have you seen anything inside you wanted to buy?
Seen a Trologo Leah Bouche I might take a punt on. Nice. So it was open for a Jedi one, but
whose score was that on?
I'm not too sure.
Right, okay.
I'm not too sure. Can't. It's hard to tell where everyone's got their masks on.
Yeah, really
ooze. So you look at the eyes. Yeah.
What do you think of the weekend so far?
Good. Good crack with the lads last night.
Yep.
Down in Ringwood and that. Obviously, it seemed to go well here last night at Dave's dinner. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you come and let me know later on if you get that Leah Bouche.
Will do, mate.
Nice one. Have a good day.
Cheers, mate.
So I'm pleased to be joined by Andy Spoons Norton from Vintage Rebellion, long-time friend of the Star Wars Forum UK and a long-time frequenter of Farthest From. Andy, great to see you.
Great to see you as well, Jez.
How's it going, first of all?
I'm very good. Yeah, I'm enjoying life. Can't complain. It's lovely to see everybody here.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? And it's lovely to see most of people. I mean, it's difficult actually having a look at people because you're just looking at people. Lots of black jackets, lots of face masks. It's actually quite difficult to spot who's who sometimes. But
isn't it refreshing? You go a lot of places and there's always a handful of people without masks on.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anybody downstairs not wearing a mask. Shows that vintage toy collectors play by the rules.
Absolutely. Mate, it's great to see you. Talk to me about your Farthest From journey, first of all. You've been to numerous of these, haven't you?
I've only ever done the Christmas ones.
Right.
The summer ones tend to clash with my holes.
Yep.
And the spring one never made it for whatever reason. But I've been to every Christmas one now for as long as I can remember. Richard Hutchison always picks me up in Sheffield. He then tells me about his life for 4 hours.
Right, yeah.
And we arrive.
Brilliant.
And it's nice. I think we rub along well enough because he normally has me as his roommate. So we're staying in, I think, maybe only the second time for me in Ringwood.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an expensive couple of taxi rides last night.
Yeah.
But worth it. It was good.
Last night sounded very well. Very well organised. And again, today the logistics appears to have gone on rails. So once again, Dave and team, and it is a big team, have done really, really well. Andy, tell me about your collecting at the moment. Now, we've had you on the podcast before. Your website, the way in which you catalogue everything, and I have seen you've made a purchase already today, haven't you?
I have. So I sort of go in waves, but at the moment, the wave has been going for a very long time.
Right.
So for the die-cast run, there's very few carded ships are needed anymore for that run. But for the box ships, I just had the 4 basic box ships, 3 on Palatoy and the TIE Bomber. They take up a lot of space. But as Stu, he mentions from time to time this book. In fact, I'm on garden leave at the moment. My plan was to finally write the die-cast book. Got 2 months doing nothing, can write a diecast book.
Absolutely.
I'm playing Zelda every afternoon, and
right.
the book's not getting written. But I wanted to do that book. I would like to have in my possession, or know where it is, an example of every diecast carded unboxed item. So I've got the easiest way to do that is I'm going to put a run of those boxes together. They're quite rare, some of them don't come up too often. So I thought this will be a long road. They're quite pricey. You know, I'm a normal person. You haven't got money to burn, but they've just been coming at me left, right, and centre at the moment, and I know I won't see them again if I don't buy them. So a bit of juggling the old accounts.
Yep.
And so I must have picked up four boxed diecast ships in the last couple of months, and I'm off to Leicester Vintage Toy Shop on Monday to pick up 2 more.
Fantastic.
So that's actually been another big part of my life. I'm quite a sociable person. I'm not going to work. I'm at home on my own. I've been watching all the back episodes of Leicester Vintage Toy Shop.
Yep.
They are like I've never met either of them.
Right.
Joe and Gav.
Brilliant.
They're like family at the moment.
Yeah.
my friends, my TV friends.
Oh, nice one. Good for you.
But I'm also going down the micro collection. So I sold all my micro collection. I don't know now. Certainly pre-pandemic. I love it. But it's a space issue.
Yeah.
But as soon as it had gone, I thought, there's such great toys. I thought, I want those back. And Pete was at the toy store in Wantage. Name escapes me.
Toy Planet.
Thank you, Jez. And he rang up to say, well, they've got Hothwamper Cave in its box here. He said, buy it.
Right.
So I actually ended up buying that over the phone. And then, so that started that road again. I pick up the odd bit of pre-production because it's relatively cheap for Star Wars pre-production. Micro collection.
Secret Santa once a few years ago, I think, and I might have got you some pre-production micro.
I've got a sealed bag of the Hoth.
Yeah,
was that you? Was
that was me.
Do you know what, Jez? When I got rid of all my micro collection, I kept one thing.
Yeah,
it was that bag.
Yeah, that was me. That was you. I was your Secret Santa years ago.
Did you send me? Was that the one with 2 teaspoons in as well? I got one year. I got just 2 teaspoons in with my.
Yeah, because your spoons.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We use those. Yeah, so I kept that, and so actually at the recent Vectis auction, I picked up the Hoth Iron Cannon. The box has got a cut in it where the shipping box has been opened, but otherwise it's lovely, unused. Seconds here today. Just having a chat to Gary Smith. I've not seen him since pre-pandemic. And on his stall, he had an opened but unused micro collection Death Star Escape. And I just couldn't resist. Stickers not applied. Because you can take it out and see what the toy is, but it's never been played. You know, you can hold it.
Yeah, see, I saw that because micro collections always escape me. I would love the X-Wing. I think the X-Wing is phenomenal. This is the one, obviously, where it crumples up, it breaks up, doesn't it? It's got the crash feature.
Crash action.
And so if I'd seen one of those, I would have take my money in a heartbeat. I would have taken that. But it was next to. There's another one, isn't there, downstairs?
It's I can't remember what it's called. It's the Hoth. It's the 2 little turrets.
Yeah. It was a rather round one. It's a unique one for that particular line, and I think it was about £50 or so. I haven't even looked at the insides, but I just thought, if I do go away with something, it might be that. So Gary might actually be busting my micro collection cherry.
If you put those on a shelf, because it's a nice box, you can take out the seam, have that set up in front of the box. They do look very nice.
You do know how to make a man moist. Funny old thing. I'm interviewing you, and then all of a sudden I'm going to go downstairs and make a purchase. That's how it works. Brilliant, though. So you got that. So so diecast going well, and micro collection.
And I've also been putting a run of 12-inch figures together.
Oh, wow.
That's again longer than a couple of years, 10 of the years at least, before I moved up to Sheffield. Had all the 12-inch figures. Not all complete, but the run of them, and we didn't have much space. They used to live at the top of my daughter's wardrobe.
Right, yeah.
Whether she
Why
liked
not?
it or not.
Yeah.
7 or 8 at the time. But they all went, and I've been buying those loose again. And in the Vectis auction, I picked up a Jawa. It's got to be one of my favourite all-time Star Wars items. I love the Yoda hand puppet as well. I've got one of those, and he gets used. But the Jawa, his cloth cape and his bandolier, it's just a brilliant toy. So I was really pleased to pick that.
Oh, excellent. Well, I think we're just about to get interrupted. So thanks ever so much, Andy. It's been lovely to talk to you.
It's a pleasure, Jess.
Have a great rest of the day. Cheers, mate.
Right then, so boys, I'm going to come to you, Dan. I want you to tell me, like I said in the intro, there was obviously trepidation whether it was going to be well supported because of current circumstances, whether the floor was going to be busy. But how was the event? What was the attendance? Footfall? Did it work with COVID? I mean, Dave, everyone wore masks, and I think everyone respected that. I don't recall anyone not wearing a mask on the day. How well was the hall stocked?
The COVID thing, I mean, the Omicron had just, I think this month ago now, it felt like Omicron was just coming around, wasn't it? So everyone was a little bit concerned about that. Would the show go ahead? Would he have all the windows and doors open? Would it be like a freezer in there? And what was the mask situation? But it was fairly relaxed. Like I said, everyone wore masks. I think, like you say, everyone was really respectful of that. And the mask situation, to be honest with you, I can't even really remember wearing a mask. I think I was just that happy to be there, to be back at Farthest From. And in terms of the numbers of people going through, I mean, you have those two waves. So you have the early birds coming in at 11, and we went out. I think we got some stuff in our video of those guys queuing up, and once again people were queuing up down the road to get in. And then you had that kind of second surge around midday, and it was a sea of people up until about, I don't know, must be about 1-2 o'clock. It was really busy, probably one of the busiest I've seen for a while. Well, obviously for a while, but going back beyond 2019, it was really well attended.
Yeah, I think Jez says it in a couple of the interviews that you had the early bird queue, and then the midday you had the general admission queue. Another queue had built up. I'd never seen that before. I mean, great for the event that you had these two waves coming in at that point.
Yeah.
In the past, sometimes by the afternoon, it really quiets down, but there seemed to be a steady flow and it going on all day.
Yeah. More so than we've seen before. I normally leave about 2 o'clock or something like that, and it's starting to die down. But it felt, I mean, I think we ended up packing up 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It still felt like there was people milling around to the very end.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the busiest shows I've been to. Farthest From wise anyway. Like you say, there just seemed to be people there right up until the end, whereas before in previous Farthest Froms there's been a bit of a lull sort of late lunchtime where there's a definite sort of dispersing of people after that time, and it goes very, very quiet, and you don't really sell much unless it's to other dealers towards the end of the day. So yeah, definitely one of the busiest shows I've been to.
And in terms of the collectors, there was a lot of people that we did know, and there was probably just as many or more that we didn't, that I've never met before, that were milling about. So yeah, lots of familiar faces and lots of new faces.
Well, two familiar faces that, if you were asking me, to people who always attend Farthest From, these two would definitely be on it. We've already mentioned Lee Bullock, but also Jon Aves, always around, normally helping Gary Smith on his stall. And Jez caught up with them together.
So, welcome back again. Now this time I'm joined with some old favourites of mine. So I've got Jon Aves and I've got Lee Bullock, who we were out with the other night having a few beers. So gents, welcome back. Farthest From regulars. Friends. Yeah, I mean, it's just great to see you, even if you don't come here and take away something. But how's the weekend been for you guys?
I feel like I've been hit by a truck. It's been brilliant. I mean, whatever I walk out of in terms of for my collection is really irrelevant. These Christmas do's that we do with Farthest From are, well, I mean, they're staple now, and I get to see people I've known for decades, and some of my best friends on this earth, you know what I mean, who come to this show. I'm not big on Christmas traditions, but this is a Christmas tradition that I value. This is great. And, at the end of the day, Dave Tree is the absolute legend as he is, and he's been a wonderful host.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I totally feel the same way. I don't expect to find anything when I come to these events.
Yeah.
But to me, seeing the guys, that's priceless. Meeting up with old friends, as Lee said, people I've known for a long time now.
Yeah.
I look back and I think I can't believe I've been involved in this for like a quarter of a century plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just catching up is what means the most to me.
It's
priceless.
I think from my perspective, I've been in this game now for 32 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you're 25, 30 years yourself.
I remember when I first met yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, he made me feel very welcome at Memorabilia when that was a good show back then.
Yeah.
And introducing me to get involved in this, and I'll never forget what Lee said to me. He said, collecting in a vacuum is no fun.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I think what you find here is, even if you go away with nothing, you can still celebrate somone else's purchase, can't you?
Yeah.
Because we all know what things mean for each other and stuff.
It makes me just as happy, I totally agree.
Yeah. And it's also a learning environment. And I think that's something that doesn't get stated often enough. This is a learning environment. Sometimes if I come out of here with a piece of information, particularly about my particular area of collecting, my focus of collecting, if I come out with a piece of information, a context of something that someone's told me why something was done like this, that is as important to me as me coming out with a holy grail piece.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely a very unsung part of shows like this, is the fact that you actually meet people who have, you start combining the experience that people have got. This runs into hundreds and hundreds of years of experience that people have got in this.
Yeah.
You know, and today I've been talking to Jason Joyner about a question that I've always wondered about with the Dennis Fisher large-size action figures about the Luke and Leia production. And we got our heads together and we contextualised this question and basically come up with a feasible answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was really useful to me. You know what I mean? Because obviously I take the large-size action figure collecting and history of that quite seriously. That's my passion.
Yeah.
And
you can't find that in a book.
You can't find that in a book.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't find
the only
that
way
in
you
a
can
book.
do it is how you did it.
So from my perspective, you know, that kind of cross-pollination of information and that dialogue, that's part of this, you know.
Yeah.
That's part of this.
It is great for everyone, so that's your mission accomplished.
Yeah.
John, have you seen have there been any standout pieces of kit downstairs that you've seen, or anything which you're like, oh, we didn't get to see that?
I mean, I was impressed with that artwork today. I thought that was amazing, you know.
Yeah.
It was really well done, and it was nice to listen to the chap on the podcast a few weeks before talking about his insights and everything.
Yeah.
And I did. I purchased the Luke X-Wing.
Yes, you did, didn't you? Yes.
Because I just saw such an outstanding image, and it's something to, I don't know, put with my Luke X-Wing focus.
Yeah.
Just a little bit different. I've never bought artwork before.
Oh, wow.
So that's the first for me. And I was more than happy with that, you know.
Oh, congratulations. I mean, I'm sure he'll be delighted if you tell him that that's your first piece as well, because...
I did, and it's just great to see that stuff.
Oh,
you know?
brilliant. Darren, he'll be delighted.
Yeah, and he's a nice fella, you know.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet him.
Yeah, no, it's been cool having him on, and I know Craig's buzzing about now being friends with someone who he's actually really respected as a musician for so long as well. So, it's been great. Lee, have you seen anything for sale downstairs which you're like, that's a bit different?
There's been plenty of things. Some of them have been a little bit outside my wheelhouse in terms of being able to afford them. Some of the things that I did find down there that I thought were wonderful, there was an absolutely beautiful Jawa crawler.
Right.
Boxed.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked lovely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely lovely. And I used to have one.
Yeah.
20 years ago, boxed one. And I mean, this was like a fairly high grade one. I don't need one that high.
What was the condition? Was that an unused?
The box looked a really strong 8.5, 9, and it was. And I would assume it's unused and so.
It looked the box looked good enough for it to be in that status.
Yeah.
You know, but.
One of them ones, you know. That, you look at it and you just think, that's a rich toy.
Yeah, pleasure to see that.
It was lovely to see. Absolutely lovely to see.
Well, gents, thank you so much for coming on. Look forward to seeing you next time, because I know that there will be a next time.
Yeah. I'm honoured you asked me. Thank you.
Well, do you know what? We're going to have to get you on. From a Palatoy collecting point of view, all your Luke X-Wings and the your 45Zs and the journeys which you've had collecting those. As you say, a quarter of a century's worth of collecting.
Yeah, time flies. I mean, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm a small part of the Palatoy game. Came into it quite late, to be honest. Wish I'd have got into it a bit earlier, but still, I've had my fair share of fun. I can't complain.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
It's just felt like 25 years knowing me, hasn't it?
Well, gents,
it's wonderful, yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Safe journey back.
And
Merry
you,
Christmas.
Jez, thank you so much. Yeah,
See you
thank
again.
you.
Cheers.
Yeah, top man. Thank you.
You've just mentioned the floor. It was rammed. Stalls down the middle. Let's discuss the stalls and what we saw there. So I'm going to break this into three sections. So first of all, the artwork. I'm going to come over to you, Craig, because Darren Hayman, who you recently interviewed for the podcast, and Bowman's Green were both there. So can you tell us a bit about their stands?
Sure, yeah. So Bowman's Green, if I'm being absolutely honest, I don't know that much about. So jump in if you can add to this. I'm not sure whether it's just one guy or a team of them, and there's not a lot of info on their website. But from what I saw, I describe them as curators, samplers, and remixers of vintage Star Wars comic art. Does that sound fair?
I think that's exactly the flavour that Simon from Bowman's Green is going for. He takes Marvel and Palatoy artwork and puts a new spin on it. It works.
Yeah, I love vintage comic art, and you can take a single panel and take it out of context, put some white space around it, color it up, and it's a thing of beauty. So I think that's a really smart way of bringing some of that old art back into people's front rooms. So they do that. Obviously, the Marvels used to do a lot of pin-ups, so they do those sections where they'd have a group image. So they kind of take some of that stuff. But what they also have done is sort of more pastiche, sort of what-if style ads, particularly for the mini rigs I've seen, and the Cap 2 was one that was adapted for Dave's Cup 2 promotion, where you could buy a ceramic mug featuring the design, and you got 2 cups of tea included.
Simon of Bowman's Green, Craig, is the person that I got your Hungarian books from.
I thought it was. I was going to mention, because obviously he has to amass all of his raw material, so he's got a real eye. And I saw he had, is it Titans, the French comics? Well, I think I saw Lee pick those up. So yeah, I think I want to be his friend. He's kind of into very similar things as me. He also produced a exclusive poster for the show, black and white poster featuring some of this retro comic art and the Farthest From logo that you could buy at the event.
I got a poster. It's really good. Actually, Grant sent me it, so I didn't actually pick up the event, but he had one spare, so he asked me if I wanted it. But yeah, now I've got it in hand. It's really cool. Fun little frame for that.
So indie legend Darren Hayman, singer, songwriter, artist, and former frontman of Hefner. If you've not checked out my interview at the show 56, you can hear us discussing how the discovery of his childhood Star Wars figures led him into his latest art project. So he's a guy who's an old hand at art fairs and indie music label events, and he wanted to test the market with the Star Wars crowd. So he'd had a bit of a disappointing experience at what's probably a bit more mass market, the London Film and Comic Con at Olympia earlier on in November. So he wanted to go deeper, a layer deeper into the world of vintage Star Wars collecting and attend Farthest From. I mean, to be honest, I think it was as much about him coming as someone who is taking tentative steps into vintage collecting himself. But he was there with his pal Dan, and he was selling his original interpretation of vintage figures. So these are original paintings on canvas. If you're looking for tight, technical, photoreal renderings of your favourite characters, these probably aren't for you, because they're a lot more expressionistic and quirky. And I was really lucky that he included me in the process of putting this collection of paintings together. So I had a little bit of the inside knowledge as to what was coming up. So I did grab his painting of the vintage Darth Vader before it went on sale. So I managed to pick that up in person at the event. So he's brand new to our world, and it's been quite fun to see his dry, humorous observations about the things that we all obsess about. And I think if this is the clip that I think it is, he starts off winding up Jez about repros.
Darren, Farthest From, we're right at the end of it now. How's it been for you?
It's great. I've brought some fake guns. I've brought a droid factory because I considered a three-legged R2 to be essential for my loose run. guy over there selling Vinyl Cape Jawas for 50p. None of you guys knew. He's right next to your stall, and we brought 5 of them. So it's been a win day. I've given a few of these tips to you guys, given some of those tips to Craig. I think he's going to follow up on some of them. It's been good.
True shopper. Indeed, fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to hang around with you a little bit more.
No, you've really got to get into the fake gun stuff. It's really sweet.
Oh, we all love a fake gun. Now, here I am. It's at least one less painting which I'm looking at, because I definitely saw a Luke X-Wing earlier on.
Yeah, Luke X-Wing sold before we even opened, and
Right.
I sold Darth Vader to you, and Boba Fett sold. So I think by the time they make the 4th trilogy of films, I might have sold all of them.
Right, the 4th trilogy. I mean, look at them. Look at it, all these now. So we're looking at Biker Scout, Stormtrooper, Greedo, Ben, Leia, Bespin, Snowtrooper, Leia Holt. As you said in the podcast, your Leia run, TIE Fighter Pilot, and Emperor's Royal Guard.
Oh, yummy! Thank you very much.
Just been handed a can of the Mandalorian by Craig, which is a delightful drink. Oh, yes.
Whoa!
And
No.
I've just been handed the Jedi Mind Trick, which is wonderful. I'm being patted on the back by Lee, who's just off. Cheers, Lee. Thanks, mate. And so it's been a good weekend for you.
It's been a good weekend. I really enjoy finding out about this stuff. I really enjoy my memory being prodded at. I now it's not so much about seeing the things that I had when I was a kid. It's about seeing the things that were in the corner of the toy shop that I couldn't afford. And for instance, I'd completely forgotten, I was just talking to Craig about this, I'd completely forgotten about mini rigs.
Yeah.
And I'd completely forgotten they existed. And I remember being quite confused by them as a child, because I thought, I didn't see that in the movie. Did I not watch the movie properly enough? And if I watched it again on slow motion, would I see these things? And then realizing that they're just created just for the kids. So I like all of that. I like all of what it does to my memory. And I have brought... Oh, yeah, okay. Here's another thing I've just learned. Well, I was kind of thought, okay, what could I collect? Like, I don't want to do the whole lot. Well, I don't want to do the whole lot yet. But I've got 2 of the 6 bounty hunters. Let's collect the bounty hunters. So what's this? What's going on? Forlom isn't called Forlom. It's called Zuckus. Zuckus called Forlom.
Well, who knows or dares to dream?
Well, I've brought both,
Amazing.
just because Craig was confusing me over which one it was. So I've got them both, but I still don't know which one's which. But anyway, I've got Forlom and Zuckus.
Oh, good for you. Well, listen, thank you ever so much. I just wanted to let you know, I'm sure you're probably aware of it. The gentleman who bought your Luke X-Wing, so thrilled of it, and he's told me that's his first ever piece of Star Wars artwork.
He was a lovely guy.
So he's really pleased
John.
with that. Yeah, excellent. Well, listen, thank you ever so much.
Yeah, okay.
Merry Christmas, and hope to see you again.
Cheers. See you later. Bye.
Other things that are on for sale on the show floor was display solutions. I mean, we all have these massive collections. We want to display them the best we can, and there was 2 there on show that day, Craig, so I'm going to come back to you again. And obviously GW Acrylic couldn't be there due to Christian having got COVID.
If Christian had been there, you would have had the full house of contemporary display solutions. So Drew, I think we've mentioned a few times on the show, particularly back, I think it was about show 40, where I interviewed young Seth Elwell and talked about his delivery of his loose vintage figure case. So for those who aren't familiar with these are the cases that come with bespoke backs so that you can place your figures on little shelves in a pre-designated spot, the colour of which the background will reflect the card back it was on. There'll be a little nameplate, and you can get these in various configurations to suit your space at home. Yeah, I think he must be responsible for 50% of the new loose collections out there. I mean, they are an object that makes you want to fill it in. And if I was going to get my vintage collection up on the wall tomorrow, I would definitely entertain one of these cabinets. So he was at the show. I think he had some show deals. I think there was, if you bought them in person that day, you got a little bit of a discount. And I'm sure he had a very successful event. Deflector cases, DC. I'd not come across them before. You know, they were in the corner as you walked in on the left hand side, and as a stall, you know, looked like not a lot. You know, there were tables of flat packed boxes. So, it wasn't something that you gravitated towards straight away. But as the day went on, I kind of wandered over there and I was like, let's see what these are about. And, I have a very specific display. It requires me to cram in lots of boxes somewhere on their sides, and it's not fully worth me investing in acrylic for every single boxed item I have. So I bought 4 of these flat packed cases for the Palatoy playsets as a bit of a test, really, to sort of see how they worked. And I was really impressed. I got them home and they are super clean, super easy to put together. And they're just what I need. They're lightweight. I've got this stuff on a shelf. If it was all acrylic, it would soon come off the wall. So a really good sort of solution that provides an alternative to the wonderful acrylic cases that GW do. So I've got a bit of a mix and match sort of situation going on there. I think there's a whole show in this. I think, there's a full Generation Skywalker episode in discussing all the different display solutions there are out there at the moment. But suffice to say, DC display cases, I've already bought another 5 between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, I've been buying Deflector for a couple of years for all my modern stuff, and I've got stacks. I've actually got piles of flat packed, still not used. I must admit, for when I was getting Powder Force 2, I didn't want to pay for acrylic on that, so I bought a job lot of these, and they're ideal for that, to protect them, and they seem to be a decent product, don't they?
I picked some up as well. I got because some of the stuff that you can't get in acrylic at the moment. So the Rebel Transport, my Cloud City playset, I picked up deflectors for those. But yeah, I was the same as you, Stu. I'd been picking them up for my modern stuff and thought I'd see what they're like with some of the vintage. But yeah, they're pretty good.
Well, there you go. I'm late to the party.
Like you just said, Drew Tegg on collector display cases. He was there, and Jez caught up with him at the end of the show.
Welcome back. I'm joined by Drew Tegg from Collector Displays UK. You would have seen his fantastic vintage Star Wars collecting displays all over Facebook, I'm sure, and he's actually brought them here today so we can see them, taken some photographs. They're absolutely stunning, really, really outstanding. Drew, welcome to Farthest From. We're right at the end of the day now.
Yeah.
How's your weekend been?
It's been very good. It's been very busy. It's the first one for me this year.
Yep.
I've done Echo Live before, but this is the first time I've done Farthest From. So yeah, it's been good.
Can you just please give me a little background about your displays? Because from a professional point of view, are you a carpenter yourself, or what's your profession?
But I've done all sorts of stuff. But my background is in 3D design.
Right.
For retail. So I did that for a while. Then I spent about 15 years as an architect.
Right.
And then I decided I needed to do something a bit more physical. So I collected Star Wars. I liked making furniture. So
yeah.
It works for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've been collecting vintage for how long?
Oh, God. Since I was a child.
Right. Okay, brilliant.
So many years.
So.
But I've really pared down my collection. I just have a full set of figures now, and that's done.
Yep.
And I'm trying to decide what I'm going to start collecting next, because I just want to focus on something. But every time I look at something that I really like, it's the most expensive thing possible. So.
Right, of course. Yeah, it usually is.
Popies was what I was thinking of next.
Right. Yeah, I have one. I had a Han, and then I ended up exchanging that for Luke X-Wing. So I'm pleased with that, but that's my one. Now going on to your cabinets, right?
Yeah.
So you've created these bespoke, fantastic, so well. In fact, what I'll do is I'll stop myself and I'll just ask you to explain exactly what they are.
Yeah.
Because you brought 3 with you today. Now I don't know if that's the entire range, but please fill your boots.
So basically, there's probably about 20 different designs on the website. But it was initially something for myself because I had started collecting figures again, and I wanted something to put them in. I searched everywhere for a display case that I thought was nice, and I just couldn't find anything anywhere. So I just decided to design my own, which is still on my wall, and it's not as nice as the ones that are in production now. But yeah, that was it really. And there, I wanted something that was more unique, so not something that just has loads of glass shelves and all that. So Marty came up with the shelfless slot system, where all the figures just stand alone on the back panel, and the light fills the case really nicely. So yeah, and there's a huge range on the website.
So from a only audio point of view, what you're looking at here is a very colourful cabinet where each figure has got its own coloured backing based on the coloured backing within their card art.
Yeah.
Which is great. It really, really clever. Yeah, I love the integral way you've got them. So is that just little acrylic pegs almost, is it, which fits in there?
It's a figure stand which a lot of collectors will be familiar with.
Yeah.
The clear discs.
Yeah.
It's been designed to suit those.
Fantastic.
So, but they come free with the case, so you don't have to have them already. So with a full 96 run case, you get 100 figure stands as well.
Right.
And they just slot into the back.
And what I like about it is the detailing as well, because you're holding back here. You really want to sell it, because what I've seen is Death Star panelling around there as well. So you look at it, and it's Star Wars, isn't it?
It is absolutely Star Wars. There's no mistaking it. And it's, from my point of view, it had to be in Kenner release order.
Yep.
So basically, that's the way that most of them are set up. There are some generic ones where you can put them in any order you like, but for me, it had to be Kenner release order. But yeah, so there's cladding on the left and right, which is all the Death Star panelling.
Yeah.
They're very, very high gloss.
Yeah.
The front panels are UV resistant. It'll stop about 97% of UV rays. So
really?
Once you've got those figures in there, they're safe.
Yeah.
There's a magnetic seal all the way around it as well. So the face panel lifts on and off, but the magnetic seal stops all the dust. So you don't have to do that yearly dusting of all the figures. You know, once they're in there, that's it.
Fantastic. Yeah, mate, they're beautiful. Now, how can people find you online?
So you can go to www.collectordisplaysuk.com. All the cases are available on there, and there's lots of detailing on there, so you can get some more information.
Brilliant. They truly are excellent. They're really beautifully done. The idea of that on-off with the magnetic seal, high gloss, they're stunning. So Drew, thanks ever so much for coming on. Safe journey back. Merry Christmas. Thanks.
And to you, and to everyone else listening.
So let's talk about the shop floor itself. So Mark, I'm going to come to you. The show is about the vintage. There was plenty of vintage on show. Give us a few highlights from what you saw on the day.
Farthest From is all about the vintage. Let's make no mistake. But one thing that really did strike me about the show was how that is started to go hand in hand with other sort of sellers. So it's not all vintage now. There's obviously we've got the podcasts in attendance. We've got artists, the Deflector guys there that we were just been talking about, as well as Christian, who's normally there, couldn't be there, like we said, because of COVID. But the vintage side of things, that was still very much in abundance. As you walk in through the hall, you are met by just complete walls of the stuff. Some of the photographs and the videos that we posted online, when you actually watch it back, you think, good grief, how cool is it to see shows like this still exist now? And there was Paul Waterer there, Nick Dykes, obviously, Marc Hockley, Jamie Woolard, Space Bridge guy was there. Some fantastic sellers, Gary Smith as well, who I mentioned previously. Loads and loads of boxed items, lots of boxed items. Not what I would call a lot of high-end rare stuff. I think a lot of it tended to be quite relatively easy stuff you can get relatively easy on eBay and Facebook or whatever. But there wasn't, from previous shows, there wasn't a lot of high-end rarities. There was certainly a few foreign bits in the mix. I know, Craig, you got those books, didn't you? So Marc Hockley was doing an absolutely blistering trade on concept art that he'd got from the sequel films, and he sold a load of stuff to Jason Joyner and Gus Lopez, and I was watching them wade through all these sketches and coloured drawings from Force Awakens and Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, and some fantastic, amazing stuff in there. All the traders that I spoke to during the day, especially at the end of the day, I said, how have you found it? Has it been good? Because it's one of those where it's either going to be really, really good or it's going to be really, really quiet and they're going to struggle. And everybody that I spoke to, without exception, all said they'd had a great day. I think there's been a real pent-up sort of desire for Farthest From. From for so long now, and the same with Echo Live as well, exactly the same. People want to get to these events. They want to talk to one another. They want to socialise. They want to see stuff. They want they want to go rooting for things. They want a bargain. They want to come away with things in hand rather than wait for the postman to turn up. It's the old school way of doing things, and that is at the very heart of what Farthest From is about and what Dave Tree wanted to achieve with Farthest From, an old school collectors fair. And the last one was by no means any deviation from that original thought process. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you're right. Marc Hockley had some great stuff, didn't he? He had a great 8-pack mailer that was graded, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was probably one of the higher end things that I saw.
Nice sandcrawler as well, wasn't there? Box sandcrawler I saw.
Oh yes, there was that. Now I'd not seen that chap there before. What was his name? Like, he'd got boxes and boxes of Last 15. Incredible. I mean, in terms of prices, there was still bargains there. I picked up a couple of bargains. I know there was Dan, that display box you got, that was an absolute steal.
Yeah.
Some fantastic prices there for things. I mean, yes, there were things that were expensive. Last 15 or Last 17, whichever one you want to call it, they are the sort of benchmark, aren't they? Everybody wants them. The price is constantly going up on those. They change from month to month. They only ever seem to be going up. So, yeah, if you were looking for Last 15, Last 17, you were going to be paying market rates for those. But as for other stuff, I saw a Palatoy boxed Dagobah playset in a really lovely box. The condition of the box was fantastic. This was on Paul Waterer's table, and it was complete other than the cylinder, and that was 200 quid. I thought that was a fantastic price. I've seen them go for 250, nearly 300 in similar condition. The box was absolutely pin sharp. It was lovely.
Paul Davies had a nice 20-back hand solo, which didn't last very long. That went very quickly, so I think he had that very reasonably priced as well. I quite like Nick Dykes. Nick Dykes is often good quality carded figures which are graded, but actually he didn't have too much of that there, did he? He a lot more beyond the toys stuff with it.
So that's where I got my micro tins from, was from Nick, and he also had a lot of vehicle spare parts and stuff like that, vehicle instructions. So I got a set of instructions for my Palatoy Tauntaun. He had all sorts there. I think he was looking at a Casio watch at one point. He had some crazy stuff.
Yeah, he did. He had some absolutely brilliant stuff. I had a few bits like that off him. I'd had a couple of those Ballantine passports to fill in my display. Some pencils I think I had off him, and some bits and pieces out of those spare parts bins. What a great idea they are. I mean, the amount of people I saw queuing up to go through those looking for parts they needed. Fantastic idea.
I think that's with some of us. Obviously, we're quite. I like to think myself as fairly seasoned now, and I've got all my vehicles and stuff like that I've got boxed and complete. I don't really need to go rooting through them, but if you're just starting out and you have got ships that are part, it's heaven, isn't it? I remember when I first started going through some of his bins and finding what's it on the Imperial troop transport, the black things that sit on the characters' heads, what they called?
The restraints.
Yeah, there's something like that. Yeah, those just like that you probably pay the same for on eBay, but you haven't got to pay for the postage. You can pick it up in person, stick it in your pocket, and take it home with you.
Yeah, he had a good mix of stuff. Nick Dykes did. There was something for everybody on his table. Very nice Palatoy 45A IG88 that he had. Which, if the numbers came up on the lottery, I would be on the phone to him straight away for.
Nice. Well, let's head over to some more interviews then. Jez in control here again. Marc Hockley we've just spoken to. He speaks with Mark. Wayne Totty of Echo was there. He was selling some of the Echo guides and calendars, and Jason Smith of TVR. So let's head over to them.
A few words for Generation Skywalker, sir. Hello. Oh, that was one word. How you doing? There you go. You have to shout. Have you had a good day? I've had a great day. I've had a lovely day. It's so nice to see everybody. It's so nice to just see people's eyes. Yeah. Despite not their smiling faces, but their eyes. Yeah. And I got to put like the top half of a face to a name. Yeah. You know what? I saw Ed Grant earlier, and it's like Ed. He's like, yeah. Oh, a lot of people haven't recognised me with my mask on. It's like you won't recognise me because of my red arm. It's one of those moments. But it's amazing the amount of people you recognise from their eyes, actually. It is. So I think everyone's had a great day today. I didn't get to buy anything because I only got half a look around, but it's been phenomenal. Lovely to see everybody again. Good vibes. Another roaring success.
Wayne, you are live on the podcast. You're not live on the podcast, mate. How you doing? You're right.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Good stuff. Farthest From, how's it been for you this weekend?
Yeah, it's been a real nice day. It's been great to catch up with people.
Yep.
It's been quite busy, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been
lots
been
of
awesome.
nice items.
Now, Wayne, your focus is now have to be on something coming up in April next year. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah.
Right, okay, just remind everyone what's going on in April next year.
We've got Echo Base Live coming up on the 2nd of April.
Yep.
It's a great time to get together, trade toys, meet some guests, and just have a good time.
Brilliant. So Red Edge, check it out. Facebook, so it's going to be Echo Live. But it's great to see you and the Echo guys down here this weekend. It's just been really good, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been real nice.
Nice one, mate. Thank you so much, and safe journey home. Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate. Jason.
Yeah.
For the second time on the trot, you're on Generation Skywalker. So, Vintage Rebellion presenter. Now, what have you thought about Farthest From this weekend, mate?
It's been one of the best shows that there's been in quite a long time. But I mean, obviously, it's been 2 years since the last one. Everyone turned up, so I think everyone was very much of the opinion. It's like, we don't really care what COVID's doing. We're getting together. We're having a great time. And it was the first time I've actually come down on the Friday night. So I came down on the Friday night, went to the Reg, had a curry, you know, which is now unlicensed, which is quite unusual. So we all drank Coke. And then at the Family Fun Day, which had a lot of good guest presentations at it.
Really good.
And then the evening meal in the town hall was one of the best ones he's done in recent years. Food was very good. There was good range of talks and stuff, and there was sort of bar service to the table. So you ordered on an app and you got your drinks at the table, which is very nice. And then the show today has just been really good. Lots of vintage sellers that I'd not seen before, so I've had a good range of new stuff as well. And it was just so good seeing everyone after like 2 years without seeing everyone. So
Jason,
it's been really good.
Home with you. Have you made any purchases today?
I've made a few. I mean, there's all the the Bowmans were doing all their Palatoy mini rig prints. I've got a set of those. I've got the show poster, but I did have a Star Wars display box of 8CF pencil toppers that I needed a lot of the pencil toppers to fill up, and I managed to get all of them in one shot at this show. So,
fantastic.
So I was very happy with that. So that was good.
Oh, brilliant. Well, listen, it's been great to see you. Safe journey back.
Thank you.
I'll see you at Echo Live.
Yeah, Echo would be the next one. That would be fantastic. Have a great time. I'll see you later.
Great to see you again. Cheers, Jason. Thanks very much.
Come to you now, Dan. With regards to other things, I mean, we've mentioned artwork being sold and display cases, but there was also some different things on the floor.
So we had our contemporaries there, a couple of other podcasts. So there was the Band for Tracks guys. So they were kind of, obviously they're quite closely affiliated with Dave. They were doing they did a lot of the interviews on a Saturday, like you've already mentioned, but they were doing they did a podcast upstairs in Fording Bridge in the morning. Yeah, and they were milling around, came over, spoke to us quite a bit. So yeah, you had the Band for Tracks, and you also had the guys from TVR there. So I think Richard, Jason, and Spoons are all there. So they had a table there, and they were giving out business cards and other bits of swag. So I think that in terms of podcasting, guys, that was that. Yeah. So also Dave was doing a lot of charity work for the Salvation Army. We obviously had the bits of the games that were laid on Saturday that you've already mentioned. He had the Cup 2, which Craig's mentioned. So that was £8. I think it was for the Cup, $7.99, and you had a Bounty Hunter capture log with 2 stamps on it for 2 cups of tea. And also Mark had a small table as well, separate from Generation Skywalker, where he was selling off some of the Palatoy group posters. So there was the group picture that you done with Han Besbin, Luke Besbin, Leia Besbin, C-3PO, Lando, and the Yoda action figures, with all new action figures. Beautiful poster. I've got it framed on my wall for when you bought them out last year. And also the Boba Fett poster that you did. So yeah, there was a table for those. And then at the end of the day, Dave done a short auction with several items. I think there was a Dengar baggie, and then was it an Echo Live poster you won, Stu, with all the autographs on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's released the number yet and how much he's raised, but I imagine he did quite well for them.
Very much, and it's always good. I mean, he does loads for charity and for his local area, so hats off to Dave. Let's go over to another interview then. This one Mark did with Steve Davies, who he was walking around with a plastic bag which included a 12-pack vinyl cape jar in there, which you don't see many of them around. What a pickup he had. So let's head over to that interview.
Today with Mr. Steve Davies, as I'm sure some of you will know on Facebook and on the forums and stuff, that he is a very, very big Palatoy collector and loves his Palatoy carded stuff, from card backs, reseals and mocks. And I've just caught up with him and asked him,
what have you been buying, mate? And he's just let me glanced into his bag, and I've almost fainted. So I'm just going to hand over to Steve now, and Steve, just tell me, what have you just bought?
I've just bought a vinyl tape Jawa Palatoy 12-back.
Now, this was off a recent auction, wasn't it? Nick Rayner.
That's right.
Originally won them from the auction. I can't recall the name of the auction house. Aston's, that was it. It was Aston's auction. It was the garage find, wasn't it? It was all
that's right.
In a garage.
All in the black plastic bags, apparently, wasn't it?
Yeah, black plastic bags. How it survived so long, I don't know. But this particular figure, I mean, how many of these are actually known to exist now?
I don't know, mate. Not that
Single
many.
figures?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely,
So we're talking really rare
single figures
examples.
for sure. Exactly, yeah.
This one's got a cut bubble, cut nameplate, hasn't it?
Cut nameplate on that.
But it's done a real good repair job by using a sort of trashed card from another Jawa, and he's managed to fix it really nicely.
I mean, any condition, you know.
Well, exactly,
you know.
yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Lucky to have it, really.
Yeah. And what else did you have in your bag, mate? Because that was good, but we've also got some absolute other pearlers.
Oh, no, here comes another one.
Palatoy 45A
Jawa.
Now, again, this is a particularly rare figure, and I've got to say, possibly my favourite.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It does look good.
There's something about the 45A cards that just...
No, I don't know how many of them there is. I think it's, again, single
figures, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You never know how many there are in sort of black hole collections. That's right. But known examples, we're talking single figures. And Jawa 41 back.
Yeah, 41 back Jawa. Again, that's got the name cut. You see that?
But I tell you what, that's a real good job, because some of these repairs can look a bit ropey, can't they?
Yeah.
Because they're done very roughly with either scissors or whatever. But
it's when they cut the names out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To send off for the the special figures and stuff.
That's it, yeah.
For free, which is great.
And what else did you have in the bag? Because there was
let's have a look. Here we go. Right. Now this one's another special one. Well, I don't know that many people know about these, but that's the transitional bubble 12-back Jawa, which is like an R2D2 bubble.
That's it, and it's got a piece of card in the back, hasn't it?
A piece of card in the back like that. Put that over there. Again, I didn't even know that existed until about 2 years ago.
Really? And again, what sort of numbers are we talking about? Known examples?
Single figures again.
So you have got an absolute bag of incredibly rare examples of Jawas, and I have to say, if we put all these in one line,
another one. There you go.
45B.
45B.
What
again?
That's in such cracking shape, isn't it?
Amazing, isn't it?
You sometimes get these on 45Bs where the heat of the transfer of the bubble when they
that's right. You see some of them. It's usually on that right hand side as well, I've noticed.
That's it. Yeah. And what happens is it's so hot it burns the print on the card. So I bought figures with that on before, and the seller has told me it's a reseal because of that.
Yeah.
You know full well that is not a reseal. That actually happens.
Yeah. So
let's just get a shot of all of them together, because I tell you what, mate, what a day you've had.
Amazing, isn't it? It's taken me a while, thanks to Nick. He's pretty patient with me.
Yeah, he's one of the good guys, Nick is. And it's nice to see them go on to somebody else that's going to look after them.
Well, that's it, Nick. They're going in my collection. And it's going to be really nice.
Absolutely.
I'm well pleased with them.
Have you bought anything else? I know it's still early yet, but have you got your eye on anything else?
Not at the moment. I think I've spent enough on these. So that'll do for now.
Absolutely.
But obviously I've got my eye on a few things, and I've got a few things obviously incoming as well.
How many Farthest Froms have you been to now, Steve?
This is my first one.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's...
No. It's usually the other one, isn't it, we go to.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I've never been able to come down here. I was going to come, I think about a year or so ago, but I couldn't make it.
That must prove to everybody how hungover I am at the moment. Because I was convinced I'd seen you here before, mate.
Yeah, probably.
What did you make of it? Worth the trip down?
Yeah,
good?
No, it's good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time you come to these places to talk to each other, don't you?
Exactly.
Just meet up again and have a good old chat. No, that's what it's all about. It's not just about the actual figures and stuff. It's the meeting up in the community and talking.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
you've hit the nail on the head. And Farthest From Echo Live two events really that absolutely encapsulate that sense of community, I guess, within the hobby. It's an absolute delight to see you, mate, and thank you very much for sharing your haul, because that's the other way to
I've got some
describe
more
it.
surprises up my sleeve as well when I do my room. I've got a few things that
see
people
the
haven't
cases.
seen before, which
Well,
I'm going to be bringing out.
We'll definitely be speaking to you about that near the time, mate.
But yeah, I've done all right
No,
today,
you have.
very well.
You deserve a sit down, mate.
Yeah, going to need it
Good stuff.
after paying for all of those.
Nice one.
Okay.
Cheers, Steve.
Right, yeah, thanks very much.
Upstairs in the hall, like Dan's just said, TVR and Fan for Tracks both did a podcast recording, and we did one as well. Such as it was, it was more us as a team of 6. We all went upstairs, and you boys presented me with the most amazing sign. Now, we did do a little presentation, which you'll hear this being presented. I think we also talked to Chris Mann again and Mark Newbold, but I do get the sign during this recording. So let's head over to that.
We wanted to take an opportunity while we're all together, because it's very rare. So back in July, Stuart was very kind enough to host us all at his house.
Yeah.
And it marked the very first Generation Skywalker get together. First time we'd all been in one place. So we've got you a little something to say thank you for hosting us at your new bar and collecting space.
Unboxing video.
Unboxing video.
Yeah, oh yeah, doing an unboxing video. There you go. Live unboxing at Farthest From. Oh, has anyone got a knife?
God, I'm funny.
Might be a bit too soon for that.
Yeah. Bless you, chicken.
Cool.
I don't think it's fake, is it?
Come on. Gosh,
Seriously,
you can do it.
has anybody got a knife?
Yeah.
I haven't eaten all day. I did have breakfast, I suppose.
It's not the food.
He's got it.
I've got it.
There you go.
We might have to do one of those pauses in the recording. 1 or 2 seconds
up.
later.
It speeds up, yeah.
It's no longer mint in seal box.
Come on, the crowd will be going home with this.
Oh, what? This looks amazing. What is it?
You should see me at Christmas. Yeah, we start presents at 7 a.m. We normally
Come on,
get.
Dad.
He's got it now.
Mate, that is amazing, boys. Wow.
Thanks for having us, Steve. It's a good time, that was.
Oh, boys, that's lovely.
That was a joint effort as well, that was. That was a
You
joint
have to
effort.
describe it for the listeners.
Yeah.
That's the viewers.
He just blows the cup. I am. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, thank you, boys.
What does it describe?
He's lost for words. Can you believe it?
You have to do this more often because he's actually
Shut up.
Yeah.
Look at the water,
Amazing.
mate.
I'll go come kiss you all in a minute. I love it. Thank you all of it.
Jess, can you describe what we're looking at?
Yeah, so Stu, as most of us are all fans of the Tiki range, and Stu's got a wonderfully converted garage where he has his Star Wars collection and his Tiki bar. So what we have here is a beautifully created, it's Mark special design of Stu's Tiki or TK421, but with a clever use of the eyes there as well. So it's TK421, but Tiki bar, Stu's Tiki bar. And actually, when you look at the large, what are these characters? Easter Island figures. It's Vader rather than your regular ones as well. So every time you feast your eyes on that, the colours just work beautifully, and it's 3D. So it's it's
multi-layered.
There's so much going on in this. It's just so subtly beautiful.
Jed, I'm made up. It's so lovely. I mean, you all came down to mine in the summer, and we keep calling it my garage, and you knew I was after a name, and you boys have named it. I mean, first of all, Tiki 421. Now, It's very clever. If anyone listens to our podcast knows that we're all into tiki mugs and tiki things. It is tiki, Tiki. Who's going to tell me where did the name come from?
That was Simon
Yeah,
McCarran.
give him that.
It was his. We went through a list of names and we thought, God, I can't remember which one we were almost going to go for, and then Simon chirped up Tiki 421, and that's it. The rebels are there. That's the one.
It's brilliant. I'd love to know what other names you had.
Hold on, I'll tell you. Hold on, I've got the list here somewhere. 1 second. I'm just scrolling back up to see if I can find it. Wicket's Boudoir.
Wicket's what? Do you mean boudoir?
Boudoir, yeah, that's it. Wicket's Boudoir. I can't read. Daiquiri Bay 94. Bar 1138. Sif and Shake. Dago Bar.
Obviously. Clever.
Yub Pub.
Nice.
Bar Binks. Chewbacca. Tattoo Wine. Yeah, it goes on. There's loads of them. Stew's Lula Shack. Binary Fun Set. Docking Bay 94. Rancho Obi Stew. Stew's Cantina. Skinner's Palace. So yeah, it goes on. Greedo's Grotto. Daft Skinners. Wampa Rave. Get Sift. I think you come out with the best one, though, to be fair.
You boys absolutely nailed it. So let me just try to describe this to the listeners. Okay, so first of all, it's on a big piece of acrylic and some amazing artwork. I mean, anyone who knows East Island with the big concrete kind of head sculpts. I take it this is your work, Mark. Well, I know it's your
Dude,
work.
they're not concrete. They're a bit older than that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Stone, concrete. Yeah, just been carved out a couple of weeks ago. So they've very cleverly been changed into Vader and Stormtrooper, and the whole backboard's got a real tiki vibe. There's palm trees coming out the back and everything. I mean, it's amazing. And then you've got this piece of what looks like a piece of driftwood, which is stuck to the front of that, and then more acrylic across the front. Tiki 421 and Stew's Bar. I mean, it is brilliant. Established 2021 on there as well. It was amazing, lads. I cannot thank you all enough. And now I know I can see this is Mark's design work. I think Craig, you had quite a big deal in sorting all the production out. Am I right?
Yeah. Mark passed the ball and I nodded it in.
I mean, it is amazing. I haven't got it up yet. I want to get the bar just right, and I need to pick the most perfect spot for it. It's very, very well loved. I mean, I think I've said it already on another show. My best piece I got in 2021 by a mile. I can't begin to thank you, boys. It was such a nice touch. Very, very well loved it will be. And Tiki 421, getting used to it. I mean, my mum calls it Tiki 421. she's got it nailed, the name of the garage now. So
Stop calling it the garage.
Stop calling it the garage. Exactly.
You were lost for words. I think we even made you cry. I'm pretty sure I caught you wiping a tear away from the corner of your eye.
Well, you were far wrong, Dan, because I'm not often speechless. I don't know if you ever noticed that.
No,
but yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
So Chris, we started earlier on. I saw you this morning. So what have you thought of Farthest From this time round?
Same as it ever has been in the past, to be fair. It's just got bigger, really.
Right.
A lot more stalls and stuff on show for purchasing than when I was back here 6 years ago. But,
Was that your first one?
No, I was 2012. I was here at the very first one. So we were at Jez's. I was one of the four coming down with Jez and Ian and Ron. So
the OG.
The OG.
So Chris's OG has had a real mix of your own collection in the past, just things which stick to mind. You had Power of the Force Nikto.
Yeah. A brief period. Yeah.
That was your special buy, wasn't it? I remember you then moving that on.
I treated myself when my mum died. Yeah, with some of her money.
Yeah. You had a Yoda focus, didn't you?
Yeah. That's gone.
Right.
Along with most other things, I've got a few loose ones in my pocket today.
Yeah.
Just to get some advice on, but yeah.
But you've been downstairs, you've seen a complete different mix, something for every pocket, something for every taste.
Definitely, yeah.
But you haven't been tempted back?
No, not yet.
Right.
Not at the moment.
If you were to come back into the collection, what area do you think it would be? Would it still be vintage, or would you now start moving out to other areas?
It's hard to say. The vintage is still where my heart is, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Collecting wise, I would say, but I don't know. The modern stuff's just gone crazy. There's so much of it out there to choose an area to stick with and go with. I was just looking in Dave's shop. The new Black Series stuff is amazing, and even that, the Qui-Gon, the bigger scale Phantom Menace Qui-Gon detail is amazing. So yeah, the newer stuff looks good, but I just wouldn't have. I'd have to sit down and do some research at what is out there and what's a good line to look into, you know. But listening to the podcast, I think I'll be collecting everything. Because you lot are a bad influence.
So tell us about that, because you recently started listening to Generation Skywalker.
Yeah.
And you've started at the beginning, haven't you?
Yeah. So I've always listened to Vintage Rebellion, and then in the last probably month or so, maybe 5 weeks, I've got into the Generation Skywalker vibe, should we say. So literally from first episode, and I think I'm up to your February 2021 episode, the Modern Way 10, I think.
Right.
Currently. Yeah, it's good. It's good to take sort of quick, vibey episodes rather than long, drawn out.
So why did you then stick with the Modern Way? So you would have started listening to those old fossils, I assume.
Yeah.
But then did you just think, my phone has downloaded it, or did you just go, all right, let's see what they're talking about with that?
I listen to it on Spotify, and it just literally plays them in order that you've released them. So it's the one is Modern Way, that it's old fossils, and it's a real mix.
Yeah.
So all of them are just enjoyable, to be fair. You know, listening about the modern stuff and vintage stuff and hot toy stuff, which I had a little look at on the website, but even there, crazy money.
Well, you never know. I was a complete vintage snob at the beginning of this, and the guys had slowly worn down Mark. Well, it wasn't so slow. And you never know. You keep on listening, you might find that I've been worn down slightly as well.
Well, I'd say looking at the new stuff Dave's got over there, it's more appealing to collect, I would say, than a lot of the newer stuff that's come out in past years. So yeah, definitely aimed at more of a collector market than a kiddies toy market in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the sculpts now are just
just
fantastic.
amazing. And obviously, technology of how they're sculpting was advanced from when Power Force 2 was released. So they are good to look at.
Well, maybe you should get yourself an early Christmas present or something or other to you know.
Yeah, I was thinking of sort of early Christmas presents. Possibly.
Now, Chris, did you expect when you came up for the presentation this afternoon that you would be the one doing the presentation?
No. I didn't think it would be a 4-on-1 interview.
Loads of people in the room with that laughing.
No. Well, it's good though. Good chatting to you lads again.
It's good to see you.
We've been planning this for a long time.
That's
mate.
it. Yeah.
We waited for you to come to the show because obviously you haven't been for a while.
Yeah.
We've been planning it for a while.
Yeah. No, I was eager to get back here today. So it's been a long time coming. So
It's been good to finally meet you because, like we had a conversation earlier on, that you converse with a lot of people on Facebook, sometimes on a daily basis, and you know, become quite friendly with people. And yet you can walk straight past them in the street.
Yeah.
And I've known about you for a long time, but I wouldn't know you from Adam.
That's
if you're in the room. And it wasn't until you came over and introduced yourself.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Vice versa.
You're a legend.
Same like reverse roles. Listen, like hearing you on the podcast. Obviously, I listen to you guys most days now because I'm going through your episodes, and obviously know the voice, see pictures of it, but to finally say hello and actually meet in person, it's nice.
And that's why events like Farthest From, Echo Live, and these kinds of events are absolutely crucial because it sort of grounds a lot of people with, you know, old school way of collecting. Rather than doing it independently online. There's no heart to that really.
Yeah, I want to try and get to Echo this year as well, or the next one, say next year.
Yeah.
Just.
It'll be good to see you, mate.
Yeah. It's sort of sometimes logistics getting down. You know, it's not that far away. As I think, Stu said, I think you said in the Farthest From episode you've done.
Probably the most interesting part, if I said it.
Probably, yeah. You know, even here it's not that far from most places in the UK.
Yeah.
You know, you think gutters come from the States.
Exactly.
You know, so it's just getting the car, have a drive over, and the Echo one it looks different, you know, bigger, you know, sort of different setting.
It's a different type of show. They're both fantastic in their own rights, but they both have a place. And
this potentially feels a bit more intimate, a bit more sort of close knit, sort of almost friendship based. Echo could be the same.
Yeah, there is a lot of that as well.
Yeah. But obviously being in the shopping centre, possibly more stalls, more spread out. But at the moment, Farthest From has always been where my heart is. So I've been here from day one. So unfortunately missed a few, but I'm back now.
Brilliant. Mate,
Maybe into the
So if money was no object, then
Yeah.
if you could walk out of one thing down there, what would you pick?
I've looked at so much stuff down there. So I haven't seen so much stuff on offer on sale for so long.
Yeah.
I quite like it because I never had one. Was I don't know who had it down there. The Princess Leia AFA 85. I think he had it for 3,200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice card. I've never owned that card.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I won a million card run. That was quite a nice one. So,
Treat yourself.
or yeah. I don't think I'll be allowed back in the house. So.
thank you very much. Cheers, Chris. Chris Mann, you are the man. And Mr. Mark Newbold.
Yes, sir.
I don't believe that we've spoken to you yet today, have we?
Not today.
Mark, you've been massively involved in this one from the beginning, I'm sure. Farthest Froms, you've been to how many of them?
I look back because I do keep a record of stuff, or try to. This is 22. I was involved in the live one. I did Empire 40, but as far as the physical in-person ones, I think I've only missed 2.
Yeah.
I think I missed the 4th one and the 6th one or something like that, which is brilliant because it's Dave.
Yeah.
You go the extra mile for Dave because he's one of those guys, isn't he?
Exactly.
But it's still a 3-hour drive there and back for me. I mean, I know a lot of people are far further than that, but yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a nice part of the world as well.
You see, yesterday when everyone was arriving, you were noticeably absent initially, and I was like, oh, where's Mark? But then you arrived with Guy Henry, didn't you?
That's right.
Slightly later on, but
yeah.
And so you had a good day yesterday?
Yeah, it was a good one. It was because it's the family fun day, so that's the day when you tend to get the guests, or Dave gets the guests in and chat to folks and stuff. So yeah, so it was Guy Henry yesterday, Neil Scanlon, which was a bit special because he doesn't do that many talks. And then on the evening, obviously Brian Herring, which was good fun because Brian you just wind Brian up and let him go. He just talks, doesn't need to be interviewed, he just needs a mic.
Yeah.
So that was easy.
Excellent. And today, how's today been for you? Just catching up with people.
Yeah.
It's been busy.
Mega busy. It's not really stopped, has it? It's been great since the door. I mean, it was full before. What was it? Early bird at 11 and
then regular at 12. Yeah.
It was full at 10 o'clock. So so it's been good. I mean, I ebb and flow with buying stuff.
Yeah.
Odds and sods today, nothing big. But then weirdly, since we've come back since the pandemic, I can't think of a big purchase I've made. It's weird.
Yeah.
Normally I'm picking up, I'm waiting for the whack from the missus when I get home. Like, what the hell have you bought this time? But there's not really been anything. So it's just I like fiddly farty stuff. Yeah. All pins and patches and stupid little bits. So I'm into all that. So fills the shelves.
Well, I want to ask you about Fantha Tracks though, because how many years has Fantha Tracks been going now?
It feels like it's been going for about 10, but it's really actually been going for 4.
Yeah.
But it's still which is weird because obviously a lot of us were Jedi News before, and that was a long endeavour, and before that I'd done other stuff. But Fantha, 2017 we started. So.
But it's just the amount of content you guys are pushing out, bam, 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 every day, all day. Instagram is brilliant, but what you're bringing up, what have you got on the horizon? Have you got anything coming up?
Yeah, I'll be catching up with posting for the weekend because I don't think anything's gone on because we're all here. So I'll be catching up with that. But in terms of general stuff, regular news, as you say, which is never stops. Star Wars stops for no one, as we all know. Podcasts are going well, so Making Tracks, which is a show I do with Mark, is ticking over 150 odd episodes now. And Planet Leia, which is Claire Henry's show, which is Star Wars from a girl's point of view, as she says, not me, she says. That's just returned after about 2 years break, which is crazy. But it's just, I think now with sort of Christmas is right on us and New Year and such, and we're looking ahead to 22. It's another, every year's a Star Wars anniversary year, isn't it? But Attack of the Clones 20th, The Last Jedi 5th, whatever, there's always a celebration year as well. So plus everything that's going to happen here. I know Dave's probably going to do a couple of shows next year, and
I certainly hope so.
Echo and all the other stuff. So we'll be seeing plenty of each other, I think.
So celebration though, you got plans? You're going to be going?
The last, Chicago I ran the podcast stage.
Yeah.
And they did ask me to do it again for Anaheim 20, But of course, now it's been pushed back and pushed back. So just waiting for confirmation on that. But hopefully.
Brilliant.
But I mean, really, we're only 5 months out. And last time it took a proper, because everyone's got, you know, it is. You've got different kit to us. You know, everyone's got different kit. People are from different parts of the world. You're trying to get them all on the same page. Some people have different concerns and different, you know, not every, like us. We came in here earlier, did our live episode. Like you with the Zoom, stuck the Zoom down, pressed record, you were there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we just rabbit. You know, it's different, but every podcast is different. Some want it planned and some want it prepped, and some need to know this consideration, or they need that, or that cable doesn't fit into that thing. And I'm not a technical guy. I usually forget to press the button twice to record as it is. So.
Oh, you have to do that.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. So this is all fixed in the edit. But yeah, you know, so you just got to. You need that time.
Yeah.
And also, you know what it is, you know, sometimes some people reply to an email like that, other people you're waiting a week for a reply to the most basic thing, and you factor that over 6 months and all of a sudden you realise you really did need 6 months to pull it together. So yeah, so fingers crossed that happens. But either way, even if I'm not doing the stage, I'll definitely be there.
Cool, brilliant. Now I often think of you, final question, I often think of you as a man in the know of a lot of things. Celebration Europe?
Oh man, well, considering...
So selfish. That's a real. I want to know about Celebration Europe.
I'd love to do the list. Yes, I promise you. If I knew, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. So, my gut tells me they will, because 2023 is like Jedi's 40th. You know, that kind of feels like it makes sense because it was pretty much made here, wasn't it? You know, and 7 years since the last one, and you're not. You know, okay, it was a longer stretch from 1 to 2, but never because of all the other stuff. Throwing Japan in.
Star Wars is so much bigger now, isn't it, than it was from between 1 and 2?
Yeah, and also I think, you know, Andor was made here. That kind of feels like that. You know, there's a lot of stuff they can celebrate. And hopefully we'll have the next film announced soon. It's not going to be Rogue Squadron, I don't think, but whatever falls into that slot, that'll more than likely be made here. So it feels like they need to do it. Yeah. They need to do it.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Hey mate, thanks so much. Safe journey back and Merry Christmas.
And glad to see you.
We've just said that TVR are up there, Famper Tracks like they're recording, but also Gus Lopez had travelled over from the States and he did a talk. Craig, you attended it up there.
Yeah, I've seen Gus talk at Collecting Track presentations in various US locations. So to see him upstairs in a town hall in the New Forest wasn't quite as glamorous as LA or Orlando or Chicago. But fair play to Gus for making an overseas trip from Seattle, where other planned guests, Ross Barr from Collector Archive Services and a New Proof author, Matthias Rendell, were scheduled to come, but due to COVID restrictions and all the rest of it, couldn't make it. So it was on Gus's shoulders to be the headline act, which I know he was on the Saturday night, but on the Sunday afternoon he gave a talk on prototypes, vintage Star Wars prototypes. Now, I don't have Gus and Duncan's Guide to Prototypes. It's not a book I own, but I'm familiar with a lot of the things that they've sourced and showcased over the years. And this was a bit of a greatest hits. It was some of the key pieces, certainly from Gus's collection, and whether some of it was sourced from elsewhere, I'm not sure. But most of it was stuff he owned and could talk with some authority on. And, I sat there at the back of the hall and watched him and thought, it's great to see a lot of this stuff again and to hear him talk about it because he's so articulate and so knowledgeable. It's always a pleasure to see him speak. But there are even things cropping up in that presentation that I'd never seen before. So, to anyone new to the collecting world, I'm sure it would have blown their tiny minds to see a lot of this very, very rare, very, very valuable stuff being showcased at an event like this.
Now, Craig, you were able to record that presentation and it sounds pretty good. So we won't give you the whole presentation because it was an hour long, but here's a little clip of what Gus was presenting on the day.
Now, these are really obscure. Very few people even know about these. But if you remember back in the day when they had, when Empire, those of you that were around when Empire Strikes Back came out, there were companies like Mattel and Coleco that were making handheld LED electronic games. They were making, they made them for sports games, and they're really popular when the first sort of LED electronic components were coming out. And so Kenner was like all over this. They wanted to get on that trend. And if you read a lot about the toy industry, a lot of times electronic games or even video games compete with physical toys, and so they look at it as sort of a zero sum, and so it's important for them to sort of chase those ideas. And so they were looking at LED handheld electronic games, and the idea was that these would be the back plates to games that came out around the time of The Empire Strikes Back, and these were done at like about, I think, like maybe like 2 times scale. And the idea is that the graphic would be used as a back plate, and then the LEDs would light up, and so you can imagine, like, you could see that we're going to use common components, right? Like in all 3 games, there are sort of 5 things on the top, and presumably you're trying to score, you're trying to like destroy AT-AT walkers, or you're trying to shoot asteroids, and I don't know, trying to shoot Yoda, I don't know, trying to slice Yoda in half. And then that was the idea that these would be like LED games. They never, of course, made these things, but these are the original paintings that were going to be used for those LED games. Here's another Empire era piece, and this is for Darth Vader's Star Destroyer playset. So it's another wood pattern. And you can see on it, like, some of the details. You can see some of the cuts and stuff for how they would make the molds for this. But each of the pieces in something like Darth Vader's Star Destroyer playset was going to be made out of a patterned piece out of wood. So you can imagine, like, for some of these vehicles and playsets, they would make dozens of patterned pieces, and very few of them are around today. I mean, a lot of the original patterns are lost, but this is one of the only one I know of from the Star Destroyer playset that's still around. But presumably everything else in the Star Destroyer playset was also patterned to make it. And there would have been multiple pieces just to make the chamber. They would have had, this is just the bottom part of the chamber. But yeah, a lot of collectors of this stuff really love the wood patterns because they're just incredible detail. They're effectively like wood sculpts of toys. So here's an example of a non-Kenner piece. These are video game boxes for Atari and television video games. They were going to make these for Return of the Jedi, but of course when they had the name Revenge of the Jedi. And these were sales sample boxes, so they would give those out to sales reps to show to retailers. And so there are no games inside, but they're actually in shrink-wrap boxes. And you occasionally see these still surface on eBay every once in a while. They actually don't go for as much as you'd think compared to, because Kenner really gets a lot of the attention on prototypes. But here's an example of Parker Brothers, which was, I think, Kenner's subsidiary at the time. Doesn't get as much attention, but anyway, this exists in prototype form. And I think one of these games was made, and one of them wasn't made. Some of you might know better than me. I think they eventually did make one of the games and didn't make the other one.
The weekend, back at a show. I mean, it was my first show. I hadn't been able to attend Echo in the summer. My first show in 2 years. Was it everything you hoped it would be? Was it a great Farthest From, where it ranks within Farthest Froms?
I think so. I enjoyed it. I was ready for it. 2 years away from Farthest From, especially when you do 2 or 3 a year normally, the impression I got, everybody was ready for it. The Saturday night was fantastic. Really enjoyed that. It was such a good laugh. Just great to catch up with everybody. And I know we've said this many, many times before that, it's not just about the acquisition, the going down there and buying stuff for your collection or whatever. It's about the reconnecting with people and being able to sit down and have a conversation with people that understand what you're talking about, can appreciate what you're talking about, and enjoy the conversation that you're having. Because a lot of people that back home talking about Star Wars, eyes roll, they don't understand what a Palitoy 45A is, and it's just nice to be with a group of people that can appreciate that. And that's why it's as much for me, Farthest From, than it is about buying stuff, that's for sure. And I think that this particular Farthest From was one of the best I've ever been to.
Yeah, I would echo that. I think of all the shows, I think it's a bit more than just a toy buying show. I think it's where a lot of us first met and got to know each other, and I think that's still the underlying thing. It's a beautiful setting. I love that 10 miles you drive through the New Forest to get there. I can't wait. Hopefully future events will see this return 3 times in a year. I love the summer one. I love sitting out in a beer garden, drinking and just
in your flip-flops.
In my flip-flops, yeah, or my espadrilles, which I know Grant really, really appreciates as a shoe, which is always good fun. But yeah, fingers crossed that COVID doesn't kick anything into touch again. But hopefully not. I think I'm positive about 2022 that we're going to get a bit more normality. So come on, Dave, release that next next date so we can start salivating once again. Now, let's go over to another couple of interviews. We've got a follow-up to Rob Marsh. I mean, in the first interview, he says that what he's got his eye on in the hall. Let's see if he buys it. And the man with two first names, Peter Lee.
Right, I'm back again with Rob Marsh. Rob, when we spoke earlier on, you said that you were contemplating buying a tri-logo Lear booth.
Yep.
Right, how did it go?
Didn't go for that. I spied a graded 80 Palatoy Lear Hofaggi.
Oh, nice.
So obviously for the Focus,
Yeah.
I jumped on that. Got a good deal on that, yeah. So
Oh, actually, you're going home pleased.
we're happy with that, yeah. We're happy.
So a nice end to a decent weekend.
Yes, great end.
Right, well, safe journey back up north to Norwich, and I'll see you, if I don't see you before, I see you Echo Live.
Yep, definitely.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Great to see you.
Cheers, mate.
Thank
Bye.
Right, Peter, I've got you now. You've been trying to hide from me all day.
Always.
How's it going, mate? How's today been for you?
Very good. How are you doing, Jez?
Yeah, I'm doing very
You
well.
had a
Thank
good
you
day?
very much. But less about me, more about you. Is anything taking your fancy today? Or are
What
you
did I
going
buy? I bought some Hungarian books.
home? Oh yeah.
They're
Brilliant.
quite nice, from the original trilogy. Got the three of them. They were nice. Picked up a tri-logo Barada, which Steve Davies brought down for me.
Okay.
Another one of those in the set. So just 3 more tri-logos in the last 17 run to do.
Let's talk about those. What do you need, just in case anyone's listening?
Luke Stormtrooper, a Man,
Yeah.
and R2 Pop Pop.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 3.
But,
nice
yeah,
ones
no,
there.
getting there, knocking them off the list.
Oh, brilliant.
What else did I buy? That was about it, I think, today.
Okay. So
But no, yeah, good to be down. Good fun last night, seeing everyone, a few beers.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
And
Yeah, brilliant. Well, listen.
nice to
mate,
be back down here. So
Thank you so much.
no, thank you
safe
for what you
journey
do.
back.
Always appreciated.
And look after yourself, and I'll see you at
You too.
Echo Live.
I expect so. Yeah.
Brilliant. All right.
Nice
take it
one.
easy.
Cheers,
mate.
Des.
Great event. We all agree. One of the best Farthest Froms, and it was just great to get back together. But we have to give a big shout out to Dave Tree. He organised this show, and I think he's probably a lot like a few of us. I think Craig is very much like this as well. I'm a bit like it, that when you're doing something, you want to do it all. And I think Dave is a bit like that with organising his shows. So I think he puts himself under immense pressure. But let's be honest about it, he pulls it off, doesn't he? He does the best he can. And in the interview I spoke with him before Farthest From, he said that he always finishes a show and thinks, I could have done that better. I just want to say, Dave, really, really appreciate the shows and the time you take to put on this show.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I mean, he's done them for years now, hasn't he? And this was the big comeback, and then there was all the worries about COVID and stuff, but it went off like a hit, as far as I can tell. I mean, the hall was packed. The sellers all seemed really happy with how it was going. We had a great day. I mean, we met loads of new people, and which we wouldn't have done otherwise if it hadn't have been for the event. So it was, massive success in my eyes.
Yeah, I don't think you need to know Dave personally to see the amount of effort and passion he puts into things. And he's always, you said earlier, he cares about his community. And, as an example, to illustrate the mark of the man, he saw me filming and he said, you care about where you're from. You're always promoting your town, Leamington Spa. I said, it'd be really great if you could just kind of go down that road and turn left and just film the river. Just film the river and just see if you can weave it into what you're doing, because it would mean a lot to me to just promote the town. And that was great. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that for you. And that's why the opening shot of the little film we put together is fording Bridge River there.
I think we've got a lot to be thankful for Dave, for what he's done for all of us, really. I mean, he's put on these events and he's brought people together, whether that be to buy things they want and need, or to socialise with people that they like and have become friends. As far as I'm concerned, that's a huge benefit. I doff my cap.
I mean, if you ever get the opportunity to chat to Dave, his knowledge of the toy industry and of vintage toys, not just Star Wars, I mean, his knowledge of Palatoy. When people are referring to themselves as, I'm the main Palatoy man of Palatoy, when it comes to Dave, it's not, I just know about Palatoy Star Wars. I mean, his knowledge is right across the board. So if you ever get a chance to chat to Dave, please do it. I would love for Dave to come on and us do maybe a Palatoy series I mean, we've got Palatoy fans, and then Mark, you're a huge Palatoy fan. Just a round table of 4 or 5 shows and go through everything that Palatoy did. And let's delve into Palatoy as a company, because we've got someone there with immense knowledge. We really should tap into that, because this stuff needs to be recorded and out there in the future. So definitely something to look into. Boys, yeah, a great event. I think we've covered everything there. Future plans for the show. I mean, we want to attend Farthest From every show, whether that's a full team, part team because someone can't make it. I think Generation Skywalker want to be there at every show in the future. And obviously, I think Mark's already alluded to it. We gave away badges and stickers at this one, but we want to do more. And one thing we do have on Generation Skywalker is some really creative minds. And then we have 2 extremely creative individuals in Mark and Craig who can produce the ideas that we come up with. So watch this space. We will do more giveaways, better swag. It will grow as we grow. So definitely worth coming and chatting to us if you ever see us at an event and seeing what we have as freebies.
Here I am, just walked into All the Cool Stuff shop where Dave Tree is just looking like a man who's had a long day at a very, very successful toy show. Dave, how's this weekend been for you, buddy? The clean version.
The clean version is it's been a joy. No, genuinely, it's been absolutely belter to see everybody again. You know you're going to see certain faces, and then there's also them faces. You know, they didn't tell you that they were turning up, and you know it's as amazing to see them. You're getting people who are coming down for the first time, and they're like, "Wow, this!" You know, the Echo Base guys,
yep.
Which is like, loved it. You know, this is really good fun.
Yep.
The traders seem happy,
yep.
And that really, ultimately, I'm here for the fans, and traders are like the last people in the world to ever be happy. But like, if they're all happy, then you know you've done something right.
Yep.
Like, but they all seem really good. There's been some amazing bits and pieces that have been on sale. In your Farthest From special, it was hilarious hearing the retrospective look back of the things that have been in the past available for sale. But then there's been some absolute belters today.
Yeah.
Didn't buy any of it because I ain't got 2 pennies to rub together, but like it doesn't really matter. You're living for the experience. The talks were great. You guys were great. Vintage Rebellion, Fantha Tracks with Making Tracks, and then Gus doing his talk as well.
Yeah.
All in all, I don't know the exact total, but I can tell you at least 285 has been raised for the Salvation Army, which is absolutely amazing.
That's brilliant.
But there are other things that will bump that up, like the sale of the mugs, because after the cost of the mug,
yep.
You know, we got like factor those in. But I have no idea how many we sold.
Well, we all got one of those. Was it the Cupchilog? Wasn't it?
Yeah, the Cupchilog.
We all got one of those.
I mean, it's a silly thing, and there's a few other odds and ends with Bowman's Greens posters and things like that. So I'm quite confident it's a significant. You know, it'll make a difference to someone out there, and really you can ask for a better thing. Really, you'll never see the benefit of that. Just like with everything that you do with like, the running Stormtrooper, it's knowing that you've done what you can to make a difference to someone else's life. You might not ever know what that will translate into, but you know it's there regardless. So it's a good thing.
And you've also reminded people of the Salvation Army as well, which is, you know, part of what they need anyway, is a little bit more focus, a little bit more awareness. It's been brilliant from our side of things, looking at it. Yesterday, the organisation, the talks, everything just appears to have gone on rails. I don't know how you do it. It must be like one of those ducks where everything's smooth over the surface and underneath it's going crazy. Who knows? But yesterday was brilliant. Today, what I saw was the wristbands with the early bird and everything like that just seemed to go so well. And what I did notice, I said earlier on, there was a queue of people at 12 as well. So you didn't just have the early bird queue. You then had people who were arriving, say, at 5:02 and going, oh, I could save myself a few quid. So there was a second wave of energy coming in. The footfall throughout the day has been really good. It's been really, really great. So
I mean, with any event, you have like the initial rush, and then it'll bed down, because people go for lunches and things like that, and then and if there's a particular guest with a talk, that's gonna like suck draw a certain thing out. But when you've got like that constant ticking over, you don't necessarily always notice that. So where I do like the big shows, particularly the weekend ones, Sunday afternoon, you're like, can I go home now at like 12 o'clock? You know, because you know it's done. But you've got to stick around till like 5. So that's what you have with every show, and sometimes it's more noticeable than not. This one in particular, because equally there's a lot of traders that have never done it before, so people are having to properly browse and take in what they've got, not necessarily it's all the cool stuff. It's always the same, widgets and whatnots. But that's great in itself because it's getting people to browse and look at things. If you know what you want, you just search for it on eBay and you find it, or you put it on a Facebook group. Equally on Facebook groups, you can just like chalk it, but like to actually be in person and be presented with this whole table or tables of just stuff. Your eye has to go through and like decode all of it, and sometimes you spot the diamonds in the rough, and sometimes people will say, "Oh, look at this," and you'd be like, "How did I miss that?" But that's all part of the fun. It's the experience of coming down here.
Well, mate, you've killed it. Thank you so much. Is there going to be a 23?
Oh yeah. I mean, after this talk with you guys, get your thoughts and feedback on how to make it better, and I do that with the team that help out, and they have a lot of great input and ideas to like help streamline things and make things less stressful. The traders as well. Everybody's always got great feedback, and some of these things you're in control of, some of the things you're not in control of. But yeah, we'll take that and let's make it good. I mean, Chloe, so my other half, she's like, let's do a premium event, like a proper premium event. So not necessarily like Farthest From, but like, you have a real experience. So not necessarily the stuff, but like, and for her to say that, I'm like, holy cow. You're the last person to ever say, "Oh, why not do something like this?" Because she'd be like, "Oh, you're a fool." It's an errand that will never have like a line drawn in the sand. But even she said something positive, so that's amazing.
We are going to totally stay in touch, dude. And thank you so much once again. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I just want to say, I think it was, for me speaking personally, and I'm sure you guys probably agree with me, it was great not to just passively be attending another Star Wars show. I think the opportunity to take an active role in contributing something to our community was great, and that's made all the difference to my experience of Farthest From this time. And I was just proud of everybody, proud of the team. We were all playing to our strengths. Jez there interviewing people, squirreling his way under their noses with that little recording machine, everyone else engaging with the people who were stopping to talk to us. I was just really proud. Obviously, I was hiding behind the camera, my default position. But yeah, I just wanted to say that on the mic.
Nice. If you do want to see what Craig filmed at that event, okay, please go and head over to our YouTube channel. Go and search Generation Skywalker and you will find that video. I think it's only 2-3 minutes long, but it gives you a great view of what Farthest From is. And if you've not been before and you live in the UK, no excuses. Even if you think, 6-7 hours away, we live in such a small country that 6-7 hours is nothing to go to an event like Farthest From. So head down there. And also, while you're on YouTube, check out everything. I mean, there's enhanced shows of all of our podcasts and stuff. There's unboxing videos. I'm sure there'll be an enhanced of this. There's so much to go and view on there. And of course, check out the rest of our social media, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Search for Generation Skywalker. Make sure you join our We Are Generation Skywalker group on Facebook, where we chat about all sorts of stuff, start your own discussions. We want to build that community for a place where people can come and educate themselves and join in. A lot of fun. If you can't remember any of this, just head to generationskywalker.com, where you will find links to all of our social media, all of our shows, all of our enhanced shows, and there is some blog posts over there, some great blog posts. I know there's some good blog posts coming. There's so many good ideas. I think Grant's working on one at the moment to do with crisp packets. So if that doesn't whet your appetite, what will? Exciting times. So there's lots and lots and lots going on at Generation Skywalker. Delve in as much as you want, but please come and introduce yourself to us. If you fancy doing an interview, let us know. Farthest From, fantastic to have it back. 2 years, too long. It feels longer. Great to be back. I'm hoping for 3 this year. And Dave, we need that date. Come on, Dave. Do the right thing. You know what it is in your head. So just announce it. For this show, it is goodbye from Craig.
Cheerio.
Goodbye from Dan.
Until next time.
Goodbye from Mark.
Good night.
And it is goodbye from me, and we're Generation Skywalker.